Hello, my amazing viewers. Welcome back once again to Pig Farming Academy. So, in today's live section, I'm going to be talking about how to manage your sow, that is your female pig, from the period of its mating, from the period of breeding to the period of farrowing. I'm going to show you the steps, necessary activities that you should carry out during this phase of this animal's life. Not just because of I want to say it, but because the sole aim of this breeding section, the sole aim of gestation is for you to maximize the number of piglets that you get, and not just to maximize the number of piglets, but for you to increase the quality of the piglets that you receive. So I'm going to show you the procedures, the activities like flushing, steaming up, and the things, necessary things that you need to do or know as a pig farmer for you to be able to attain these results that I mentioned previously. So, guys, let me dive into the section of today. Welcome back once again to Pig Farming Academy. Please drop your comment section. Tell me where you are watching from. Tell me the country. Message me through WhatsApp if you have any question regarding pig farming industry. 080 So let me dive ahead to talk about this breeding sector. So before you meet your sow, I want you to begin to think differently. Begin to think from the selective aspect. Do not randomly mate your sow. This is so that you can be able to get out desired quality you want. When you get your sow, when you get a sow that is already in the age of you breeding it, you need to ask yourself, what should I necessarily do? Do I make this animal randomly? You need to ask yourself, what qualities does this animal have that I should remove during this meeting? Then now ask yourself, do I have the necessary male I can use to effectively get this desired result? Once you are able to solve these two problems, you get the male that has the quality you want, get the female that has the quality you want, then you can be able to go ahead with your mating. And mind you, mating should be done when the animal comes on heat. But before you go ahead with your mating, I want to teach you something. You don't just go ahead to mate your animals without carrying out the process of flushing. Flushing, I'll go again, flushing. Before you meet your animal, you need to flush it. The sole aim of flushing is to enable this animal to be in good condition so that the hormones, the reproductive organs can be in good condition to release the eggs that will be fertilized by the sperm of the male. So what is this flushing? This flushing is just the act of placing this sow or gilt on a rich diet that contains necessary nutrients like the calcium, protein, minerals that will help to keep its organs, its reproductive organs in order. Not just keep it in order, but also help it to release necessary ovaries in large number that can be fertilized. The benefits of you flushing your sow includes one, it helps you to get a larger number of litters because when more ovaries are fertilized, it can lead to more larger litters. Not just larger litters, but it also helps you to increase to get healthy litters. That is why you come to most farms, their piglets are very, very healthy. That is because they carry out these certain activities, these principles that enables them to attain this result. So I'm trying to tell you this as a beginner pig farmer. Once you want to meet your animal, make sure that you flush it. During this flushing, you have to deworm this animal. So you have to deworm it, you have to place it on a special diet, after which when it comes on heat, you can then mate it. Then pigs normally have a gestation period of 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. During this period of 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days, that is during the period of gestation, you have to make sure that this animal is well fed as it is now nursing the child in the womb. You need to supply it with necessary nutrients. And then during this period also, there are drugs that you have to give to them, especially the iron dextra plus. Give this iron dextra plus to this pregnant sow during this period at each month of its gestation. It is very, very important. Okay, so when you place it on a special diet during this phase that contains nutrients like proteins, minerals, vitamins that will help it to carry this pregnancy to term and effectively, thereby enabling it to get what healthier litters. These are things that you will do until the animal farrows. Then on the day that it farrows, on the day that it gives birth, you have to make sure that you inject this your sow, not the piglets, but the sow itself with Andextra plus multivitamin so that the piglets can be able to get these nutrients from their breast milk. These are the principal activities that you should carry out as a pig farmer that wants to get healthy litters. You don't just go ahead to mate your animal randomly. You should make sure that you pass it through flushing, which is a system whereby you place it on a special diet for it to release larger number of litters that can be fertilized by the sperm to get a better result. Then when it now farrows, you need to now carry out a system that we call steaming up. What is this steaming up? This steaming up is also placing the sow on a special diet to enable it to release enough milk in order to breastfeed its piglets. I've heard so many people, so many farmers come to me saying that their pig farrow it couldn't lactate as required. So when your pig farrows, you need to make sure that you place it on a special diet so that it can be able to produce enough milk so that it can be able to lactate. Get my point? So place it on a special diet that is much more rich in protein and vitamins. It is very, very necessary. Then on the fourth day after farrowing, you can then inject the piglets with iron dextra plus. It is very, very important. After injecting the sow on the day it farrows with iron dextra plus, you then wait for 3 to 4 days after the farrowing date to now inject the piglets. These are the activities you do. Then when it comes to, you keep on feeding them, of course. Then when it now comes to after 1.5 months, or some people can wait for 2 months, that is normally the time, the period that people wean their piglets. Me, I wean my piglets at 1.5 months, depending on their growth rate and the rate at which they convert to feed. Because we normally introduce creep feeding before weaning them. So when it comes to this period of weaning is normally a very, very intricate aspect. But I'm not going to talk about weaning. This video is about the sow. It's about the sow entirely. I've showed you how to take care of a sow from the period of its breeding, right, to the period of its farrowing. The necessary things that you have to do, the flushing, the steaming up. I've explained all these things. Then when it comes to the feeding aspect, feeding is expensive, of course. So you have to employ certain principles to enable you to reduce the cost of feeding your animals, especially when it comes to these female ones. So in order for you to reduce the cost of this protein, there are activities you need to employ. In my farm, I have a lot of plants that I cultivate, the cassava, the plantain, all these things can enable you to reduce the cost. Also, you can employ the maggot strategy, which I taught in my book, The Pig Farmer's Journey. You can get a copy of this Pig Farmer's Journey, implement the principles. If you don't know how to get a copy, you can message me through WhatsApp 080-588-11642. Message me through WhatsApp, get a copy of this book, implement this strategy. It's a strategy whereby I get the droppings of my pigs and then keep them in a normal environment with enough humidity to help grow these maggots. When I get out the maggots, I process them by washing them with salt, heating them up, and drying them up, which can enable me to feed my fish farm. I have a fish farm, and it will enable me to add protein to these animals. That's my pigs. It's a very, very good source of protein, these maggots. So you can be able to use this to reduce the cost of feeding your pigs, your sow, and they are able improving their nutritional value. So when it comes to the feeding aspect, what I make use of, I'm going to mention the components of my feed. And this is the live section. I would like to know where you are calling from. Drop a comment. Okay, let me tell you guys to drop a comment. Drop a comment. Tell me where you are coming from, where you are watching from. Tell me where you are watching from. Okay? Tell me where you are watching from, guys. You can message me through WhatsApp 080-588-11642. That's my number. I'm going to drop my number in the comment section, okay? You can message me through WhatsApp. So when it comes to the pig farming industry, you can make use of certain principles to reduce the cost of feeding your animals. Which one of it? I mentioned the maggot strategy, whereby I was able to use the maggots I got from the droppings of my animals to process them, wash them with salt and water, heat them up, then which enabled me to add more source of protein because maggot is very rich in protein. It's a proteinous diet for pigs and equally my fish farm. So when you employ these certain strategies by using the maggots, making use of cultivating certain crops in your farm in order for you to reduce the cost of feeding this animal, you can then be able to maximize your profit. But most importantly, regarding this breeding sector, make sure you carry out the principles I mentioned previously. That includes the flushing, the steaming up, whereby you place the animal, the pregnant animal, even before mating it, on a special diet that is rich in protein and vitamin, which can enable them to set their organs in order, their reproductive organs in order, thereby leading to them giving birth to a more healthy piglets, even larger litters. Because when you place them on this special diet, you'll be able to release enough ovaries that can be fertilized by the spermatozoa of this boa of the male pig. Thereby, it can give you healthy litters and much more litters. So, guys, I'll be dropping the link to my WhatsApp community in the comment section and equally in the show notes of this video. Make sure you join my WhatsApp community. You can ask your questions on any aspect of the farming industry and we get to answer you, okay? I'm equally going to drop my WhatsApp number right here where you can message me via WhatsApp regarding any aspect of pig farming industry. If you have any question regarding the pig farming business, message me through WhatsApp 080 588 511642. Message me via WhatsApp. I'll drop it right now in the comment section. Okay, let me type it now. 080 588 11642. Message me right away if you have any questions regarding the pig farming industry. You can equally make sure you join my WhatsApp community and equally make sure you get a copy of the Pig Farmer's Journey, which is a book that I wrote that contains my life experiences, how I managed to start up pig farming business as a young child that I am after my work examinations. I detailed the experiences, the challenges I faced, and the solution that I employed to overcome these challenges. I'm going to be dropping the link of this book in the comment section and equally in the show notes of this video. Make sure you get a copy, read the book, grab the knowledge I imbibed in it, and employ them in your farm and equally get the results. Okay. So I've dropped the link of the book in the comment section. Make sure you get a copy of this book, implement the strategies, better your farm. Ask me any questions in any aspect of pig farming industry. Check the description box, and be able to get the link to my WhatsApp community, which is a community that contains pig farmers from different regions of the world, whereby you get to ask your questions in any aspect that you are facing issues. You can equally message me through WhatsApp 080 588 11642. So, guys, please, amongst all these strategies I employed, if you want to get a successful pig farm, if you want your sows to do well, you must make sure you practice good hygiene. Do not joke with the hygiene system. A lot of farmers will be like, oh, I give them the drugs that they require without understanding that drugs can never overshadow hygiene. Once you make sure you carry out good hygiene by removing the droppings from the pen every day, do not keep the droppings more than 1 day because pathogens can grow from there and then begin to infest your pigs in ways that you do not like. Make sure you remove the droppings, make sure you feed animals as expected, and the feed that you give to them, make sure it is not infected by pathogens. So, guys, I'll be coming to the end of this video by giving you a very important update which will contain the components of my feed. The first one is the PKC. I make use of the PKC. The second one is the Bambara nut chaff, also called Osoba. The third one is the soybeans meal. The fourth one is the blood meal. You can add salt, cassava, maize. So all these things I bring together with the maggot meal to formulate a healthy meal that is equally nutritional, that meets up nutritional components of my feed. So, guys, we'll be coming to the end of today's section. Make sure you send me a message via WhatsApp and equally make sure that you join the WhatsApp community and better your farm. Thank you very much.